Hi, welcome to this episode of The Daily. My name is Brendan Malone. Well, a week or so back I read an article about the fact that the Vatican is going to be hosting an upcoming conference of experts just to look at the question of the just war doctrine. And there's going to be a re-examination there, I think particularly in light of modern warfare. Now, the people I saw sharing this article were suggesting that this doctrine was going to undergo some sort of radical change. As far as I can see, I just can't see how that's possible, because the fact is that this doctrine is actually a very good doctrine. It's very tightly and well prescribed. And there are no areas when you look at this doctrine, if you actually understand it, if you've read it, if you haven't, go and look at the Catechism of the Catholic Church or Google Just War Doctrine. And it's pretty straightforward kind of stuff. A lot of the problem with just war doctrine and its application actually comes at the point where people either don't understand it or they try and misuse it. I mean, that's hardly new, right? That happens all the time with all sorts of doctrines and moral laws. But that's the real issue. So people try and use it to justify things that are not justifiable, or people confuse what it is. And so, for example, they forget that even if you have a just war, like World War II, almost certainly fits the criteria for just war, but within that warfare, you can have acts that take place that are gravely immoral. So, for example, dropping atom bombs on civilian populations. They are gravely immoral actions, even though they took place within the context of a just war. And so people sort of fail to make these sort of distinctions, and if they don't understand the doctrine well, they get confused about what it is. But as I said, I really can't see anything that there's nothing certainly that needs changing, and I don't see how anything can change without their bringing in logical inconsistencies and incoherence to this doctrine. Because, as I said, it clearly, because it's so tightly prescribed, it clearly prevents a lot of modern warfare, a lot of the modern battles that have taken place, a lot of the modern warfare since World War II. It's pretty hard to find military engagements that actually are justified under the just war doctrine. There's not to say they don't exist, but it's certainly not, like a lot of people think that a lot of the war that's being engaged in is justified when it actually isn't. And this doctrine is very clear about that fact. I think the other thing that's important about this doctrine is that people forget is that it's the very same moral principles that allow us to have things like a police force. And I don't know of too many pacifists who often speak very despairingly and in a derogatory way about the just war doctrine. I don't know too many of those people who at the same time are not happy about the fact that they have a local police force that they can call on who can use a proportionate use of force in response to protect them from unjust aggression. We all accept and understand that a police force is a good thing. Well, the just war doctrine is really about applying those same principles simply on a global level or between nations where conflict begins to arise, because at the end of the day, that's all it's really about. It's about a set of moral criteria that allow for a moral and just form of defence. And that's the one thing perhaps that I think could change, is the way in which the just war doctrine is talked about, because really the word war has a lot of negative connotations, and it has a lot of, particularly in the modern context, war has a very particular set of, perceptions that people have about what you are talking about when you talk about war. So I think we might see perhaps a move, or what could be good is a move towards actually referring to it as a just defence doctrine, or talking more about just defence, because really that's exactly what this doctrine is about. It's about defending the vulnerable in a moral way against unjust aggression, rather than standing by and doing nothing in the face of evil. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow on The Daily.